How's it going? My name is Chris, and I'm making this video for the Gospel Echoes team. I'm going to give you a little bit about what their whole program is about, and what it has done for me, and what it can do for you. Hey, how's it going, fellows and ladies? Hope you're doing well. I'm not sure who's watching this. Perhaps we have even met, but just wanted to give you a quick intro to let you know where I'm coming from, and give you a little bit on my background. I'm making this video for my good friends at the Gospel Echoes team. I'm going to give you a little bit about my past and the present, and what the future holds for me. So I guess first off, I don't know where you're watching this from. Might be your house, or clubhouse, or the big house, or I don't know. Anyway, can tell you that we have that in common. If you are watching this and you're locked up, I know what it's like. I've been there, and I know what it's like with no privacy, the close quarters, the violence, all the stuff that goes on. You can see, with my face tattoos, I've been around the block a few times. This one here, I'll tell you a little bit about them. I won't tell you about all my tats, but my tattoos. This one, 1979, that's when I was born. 46, and this one is a cross that I got, and I put it on my temple, and the rationale behind that, or the reason being, was to so that I would always keep God, or like my face, on my mind. So I put it on my temple, and I thought it would be a great way to open up to people about my faith, just that I met in the street or wherever. So when I wound up in jail, it was good opener for me. First of all, people thought, it gave me a little bit of credibility inside. I didn't look like, like a pushover or whatever. I'm a little guy, so what it's like inside. You got to be, you walk that tightrope of trying to, be humble, but also be tough, so that people don't push you around. And that's the way it is on the inside. But I mean, you also got to be humbled, or you're gonna get humbled, and that's just the way that it is inside. And I know if you're watching this from the inside, you know what I mean, right? So you don't walk around like you're all that, and because you're gonna get humbled. And that's one thing I've learned from doing Bible studies and stuff, is that God, Jesus, like he loves humility. Like when take the pride away from yourself, and be humble, and just that's a great thing that's a great characteristic to have about a person. So my ink, everything I got, it's all, everything I ever put on my body, I knew it was going to stay permanent. So I always kept in mind that it would be something that would never change. So like my birthday is never going to change. You can't change that. My faith, I'm never going to change that. The first one that I ever got, like my initials, I was like, that's what I thought. Okay, I'll get my initials. I'm not going to change my name. And then I did like my son's name. I did a nice little cross. That was like, you know, I got that one probably like almost 30 years ago. Um, my daughter, her name is Dahlia. I was born in Nova Scotia, so that's like a Nova Scotia flag, a sleeve that I haven't finished. But anyway, that's enough about my tattoos. Um, so yeah, moving on from there. Yeah, like I said, I love this one because it, you know, gives me a way to open up about my faith to people. So like when I got locked up, before I got locked up, I should say, you know, I was having a little bit of issues with certain guy across, you know, that lived right across the street from me. We had a little beef going, and you know, it was getting me in trouble. And you know, there was a few incidents. I had SWAT come to my house, and the little place I live in Ontario, like they never seen, like I know, you know, they never seen 12 or 15 SWAT cars come down and all that. And so, you know, it made me hated on in the little community. And I'm a city boy. I'm not used to the not used to how it works in a small town. I've always lived in the city. I lived in Toronto for almost 15 years. I lived in Halifax for 27 years. Port City, lots of drugs. Like that's all my friends. That's what we did. We moved things like drugs and weapons or whatever. Because it's a port city, we get stuff easy and move it across the country. So you know, it just became. A way to do it. But I mean, believe it or not, I'm a licensed electrician. But I always, you know, just the people that I rolled with and stuff, like drugs and that kind of life was always what I was into. Even though I had, you know, a good trade and stuff, that just ended up being, you know, the people I surrounded myself with, the lifestyle. That's how I rolled. So when I got, I was joking around with a friend of mine, and I was saying, you know, because I had like a non-com with the guy across the street, like for people that don't know, like a non-communication. I wasn't supposed to talk to this fella, and but then like you know, and this is after, you know, getting tasered and all these few incidents that happened. So I wasn't supposed to talk to this guy, but he lived right across the street from me, and you know, 3 bottles of wine and a whole bunch of drugs later. You know, like I love, probably my drug of choice would be like a PCP analog, or like angel dust they call it, stuff like that. And then like flip it with like 3 bottles of wine or something like that. And then, you know, it's hard to think straight, you know, especially, you know, like a little guy like me, put all those substances in you, and you know, you're probably not going to make the smartest moves. So anyway, I was joking around with my friend, and he said, well, you know, if you do get locked up about it, he said, read your Bible. And I laughed. I thought, yeah, you know, I'm not going to get locked up. It's not going to happen. But then it did happen. You know, I got all twisted on the stuff, and yeah, ended up in jail. So, and then, you know, so I'm going into jail, and I don't, you know, I'm not really a local boy in Ontario. So like all the little cliques and stuff like that, it was pretty quick to see. Like I didn't go like PC or anything. That's not like if you're watching this from PC, I'm not judging you or whatever. But like I was, even though I'm small or whatever, I knew like it's not how I'm gonna roll, right? It's not. Even though I got no rep or whatever up here to try to manage or whatever, I thought, you know, I want to talk to people and I thought about what the guy said, read your Bible, and that's what I said I'm going to do, and that's what, you know, that's what I did. And I I noticed a guy reading the Bible. After, you know, the first thing, you come in and, like, you know, you get read the rules. People want to know, you know, what you're in for, what you did. You know, they kind of get a feel for you. They want to see if they want to, like, dry bounce you or whatever, right? And so you have that first few moments of, like, trying to see, you know, if you're gonna fit with the people or if you're gonna get jumped by the guys. So it was about 12 guys in 10 bunks in the range that I was at, in the jail I was in. Yeah, so, you know, the first few minutes you gotta prove yourself, and you know, people want to see if you're weak or whatever. And I'm only little, so I mean, I gotta be, I gotta play my cards right. So, you know, one thing they say in jail that I learned, you know, is like you keep your mouth shut and your ears open. That's a good motto to live by. But I got a big mouth, and so, you know, I'm always yapping and stuff. But I wasn't talking like you know, like smack or whatever. Like when I talk, I tried to say. I thought about what I was going to say, and I thought about what my buddy said, and I thought, you know, what am I going to do in this position? I'm in here, like, and I thought about this, like the cross on my temple, and I thought, you know what? Like, I'm going to represent, you know, I'm going to put my faith in God, and I don't know if you ever heard of, like, Daniel in the Lion's Den. So, like, if you haven't, you know, like a story in the Bible, like Daniel, just a guy, and like say the, you know, the leader or the ruler guy, he didn't like people praying, but Daniel, he was like, I don't care, like, I'm gonna pray, like, that's my business, I'm gonna do what I want. You can make your rules, but I'm still gonna pray. And the Pharaoh was like, he didn't like it, so he threw Daniel into a pit, like a, you know, like a pit with lions, like legit lions, a bunch of them. And Daniel prayed, you know, when he got down there, and the lions didn't come at him. So, like, I felt like that a little bit, like when I was in jail, because, like, you know, you're in there with people who, like, you know, shooters, robbers, killers, whatever, right? And so a little bit, you know, like they were like the lions, right? And I was Daniel at that moment, and I knew it, and you know what? Like, God, like, He had me. It was awesome. Like, and you know what? The guys seen it. Like, the guys seen it, what was happening, and they were interested. Like, you know, they wanted to know, like, what is this power that this guy has? Like, where does it come from? Like, just a little guy. Like, how does he have all this confidence? Why is he not scared? I had 1%ers, you know, get in my face and stuff like that, and I just stand there like, what? Like, you know, nose to nose, like, you don't scare me, because I had God backing me up. I'm not trying to sound like I'm a tough guy or whatever, but I knew the Lord was going to keep me safe, and He did. So it's not a testament about how tough I am. It's about the power of God that you know, we all can have and use for sharing, you know, God's message. Anyways, I noticed a guy reading the Bible, and I slipped him a little message onto his bunk. And I did say, like, you know, just when nobody was looking, tossed the thing on and said, hey, bud, you're not the only Christian in here. You know, if you need to chat or whatever, you know, I got your back. And you know, later he came up to me. We developed a little bit of a relationship like that. He was one of the first guys, you know, that I got in good with. And then, you know, I wanted a Bible myself, so I put in a request, like, to see the chaplain, and You know, it takes, yeah, you know how it works, like takes like a week or whatever, and finally my minute comes up, and you know, they say, church, it's time for you to go see the chaplain. So I go down and I say, I just want a Bible. Just give me one sec. I just want a Bible, and she had also for me some. This is my little package. She had some Bible studies that she offered to give me, and that's like where I first got introduced to the Gospel Echoes team, and so I did like the first one, like I'll show you here, like this is funny here, like you'll laugh, the boys inside, like cause you all know, like that's my t-shirt, right, where I rip it into strips and turn it into one of those old school books. Old school book holders. It makes me laugh. I feel like, I'm like from like the 1940s or something, with my little strap with my books like you see on the TV. But yeah, no, that's I love that. Like I kept that. That's my little souvenir from the jail there, that make me laugh, or give me a reminder. Another one, before I get into showing you the Bible study thing, is another one is like I want to show you this cross that I made. It's a little crooked or whatever, but I mean, so this is bed sheets, and the guy showed me like two guys. This is two different guys as handing this at once, or not at once, but like, I mean, put together. Like, so the necklace part of it was the one that I learned from a guy, that came from the pen, and he showed me, what he said was, this braid, he's like, you want to strangle someone and make it good and strong, like it won't break on you, like it's just strong. But I thought, it's not what I'm going to use it for. It's just such a cool little braid. It's made out of 5 different loops, and you guys probably seen, if you're on the inside, you have it on your fingers, and you just keep passing it down to the empty finger. I don't know if you know what I mean, or if you've seen guys do it. If you've been locked up for a while, you've probably seen it. And then this other one, this round braid, a guy that taught me that, he said, good for making a billy club, like you want to smack somebody with it. And I used it for 2 things. Like, we had sand weights, and I fixed up the sand weights when the handle on it broke. I made a cool little handle, and yeah, so I used that to make this cross. And I don't know where this, like, till I die, like this means so much to me, because it was like I learned from my brothers, my brothers inside, like the skills to do it, and I made a couple different things for different people inside, and not for weapons though, for things that will be useful and make their lives a little bit better. But yeah, and yeah, I tied them together, and a little bit of toothpaste on there for the glue, and yeah, how you gotta use what we got inside. We get pretty ingenious with the stuff. So anyway, back to like this is the Bible study. So like the first, like I got like the first two lessons. This one just is sort of an opener into it, talking about how much God loves you, and stuff like that, and about how cool and amazing His love is. Like, it's something like there's a whole book on it, like about how much the guy who created us, or how much we mean to Him. So I want you guys, like, don't ever forget how much you guys mean to somebody, whether you know you don't have somebody or family or whatever. Like there's no matter if you're alone or whatever, there's somebody always looking down on you that you mean a lot to. Um, you mean the second one is growing in the Christian life. Um, and then this one, I really like the third one. It talked about different ways about sharing your faith. Um, and like some of the things that I learned then was like talked about a story about like when Jesus met this he went to this watering well like in near like Samaria or like met like a Samaritan woman and I the thing was like he didn't go there to get water, like because he was thirsty. He went there to like find some common ground with the woman first, like to say like we're the same. I know where you're coming from. Like we're not so different. Even though like he was different from a different part of town and different religion and stuff. So like normally these two kind of people would never talk together, right? And but Jesus came up to her at the well and asked her for some water, and he took a drink of the water she got from the well, and he gave her back living water. Like yeah, no, it's a great story. Like and then she comes out and she talks about her life story. She had 6 husbands, all this stuff. Like you can imagine the drama of this woman. She's going through 6 different men. Like I'm sure there's something not right going on with the way she chooses her men or whatever. But so they had a lot to talk about. So that was all I wanted to say really about like what I learned in this book. One of the things was like about how to share your faith, how to like find common grounds with someone. So I feel like that's one of the talents that that God has given me. And like God has given us all lots of talents. Like you might not see them, but like everybody, like everybody, you got like 600 or 700 different talents, and we want to use them for for the good, like for something good. Like if you use your talents for your own gain and stuff like that, they're not going to grow. But like if you take your talents and you use them for something that is like that the Lord, that God sees and he's like, yeah, that's good. I like that. I like how he does that. I like how he's representing me. Then he's gonna make your talents grow. So that's one thing about I can say about talents and sharing your faith. So the fourth one, when you get to it, it's about like growing towards maturity. I'm 46. I act like I'm like I get the maturity of like a 12-year-old sometimes, for most of the time. But I'm trying to like be mature. People do me wrong or whatever, and like instead of getting mad and like coming back at them, make a plan to like get back at them, like now I'm learning like I'm gonna kill them with kindness. Like you want to mess with me, you want to do me wrong, and like you know what, maybe I'll do you a favor. And then it makes the person think, they're like, what, this guy, like you know what I mean. You get them thinking, like you get twisted, get them thinking. um, Yeah, so like when I was in there, I saw a couple guys, with the books, and I started, doing it with them, and it was awesome. So we're sitting at the table one time, and this guy comes in, and it turns out like another guy in the range had a beef with him. He's like, "Oh, you're a bird," and like so. We're sitting there doing a Bible study, and the fists start flying. And I said, "Man, I'm the only person who's there putting on a Bible study when a fight breaks out. Like when I get out and and I'm at a church or something, and I'm at a Bible study. Like how many people gonna say like they a fight broke out during Bible study? So that was funny. Uh, but yeah, that's." So we were working, these 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 Bible studies. They got about 12 lessons in them each. You spend about an hour on each one. Little thing that you pull out, so you just like read, read the front, and then there's like a tear out section. It's like a little quiz or like ask you about what you just learned, and there's a lot of like Bible references and stuff like that. Oh, look, I'm opening up. Look, this has got my Otis number and all that jazz. I don't even know if this is sentence information. Oh yeah. What was this one? This one I was in for like assault and death threats and stuff like that. But I mean, so I've learned like that's not the way that's not the person I want to be. That's not how I want to represent. And I know that like my life has like moved forward, in like and I felt so much better just being like trying to like do the things that I learned in the Bible and stuff like that. So like I had like um, a great appreciation for these people that I'd never met, the Gospel Echoes team. That's why I'm doing this. Like I wanted to give back a little bit and you know make something that you guys that people on the inside or could relate with, or that like or people that were like wanting to support the Gospel Echoes team, they could get a little insight and see, how the program is changing people's lives and making a difference. Because people on the inside, like we're looking for answers and stuff like that. We know, we're just spinning our wheels trying to hustle and all that stuff, right? Like it gets you nowhere, right? Um, After you do the four of these, like look at how sick this is. Like it's so nice. These guys sent me this beautiful Bible. Look with my name. That's my name, Chris Church. I don't know. You might know me. You might not. I don't care. Like uh, yeah. Like and this Bible is so beautiful. Like leather. It's awesome. I appreciate it so much. The I, I can't say enough about like the Gospel Echoes team, and if you're on the inside, like that's what I'm going to say to you. Like put the request in, like and go get book number one, and just like and get a Bible from the chaplain, and like just start doing it, and and you can make a difference. And you don't have to be like you don't have to be a G or like gangster or whatever. Like uh, nobody's more to me. Like I've seen all kinds of people, gangsters, whatever, um, and nobody to me is stronger and cooler and more powerful than Jesus Christ. So, I mean, that's my message for you guys. I mean, and I hope that it hits you good. I hope I hope things are okay for you on the inside. What I can say is, if just just close your eyes and say a prayer. If you need to find peace or get some strength, and this gentleman upstairs, God, Jesus Christ, he will help you. Like he's never going to abandon you, no matter what you did or like anything. Like he don't care. Like you surrender yourself to him and you say, look, I'm sorry for what I did. I realize I'm wrong. I'm gonna put my life in your hands, and like let's move on. Like let's make something out of myself, something out of life. And yeah, so I mean, I wish the best for all you guys, anybody watching the video, and hang in there. And yeah, God bless you.